Hey everybody, welcome to Fiber at 4. I'm Christiana coming to you live from the Longmont Yarn Shop, and thanks for joining us today. And kind of looking back on all the Fiber at 4 themes that we've done, I've noticed that I've made a huge oversight to our bulky and super bulky weight yarn sections. So I thought today I would repent and do a salute or a tribute to our bulky weight and super bulky weight yarns and the different ideas that you can do with them. Bulky weight yarns are fantastic because they knit and crochet up very, very quickly. They make great projects. They make fantastic gifts if you're a person like me who tends to forget who all I need to make gifts for. So it crochets and knits up super, super fast, so you can still make a lot of presents with a lot of heart, but a little bit faster than if you were using a worsted or DK weight. So today is my tribute to our bulky weight yarns. So first, I wanted to start off with, kind of in a crap spot here. Hey Mom. So today I wanted to start with a yarn that we had for a while, and then it went away, and then it came back. And that is the Rowan Big Wool. Hey Nancy. And I only grabbed one color because there are so many colors of this on the wall. I think we've got about 8 or 10. This is $19.99 per ball. This is 100 grams. It is 100% wool, so this will felt. And we've got 87 yards here, again, hand wash only, and this takes about a size 15 knitting needle. And it's a 2-ply, and it's super squishy and super soft. And the idea I have for this guy is this sweater right here, and you know what, instead of using the mannequin, I'll just hold the sweater up. This is a cardigan that I made a few years ago when we first had the Rowan Big Wool. And this is the Lottie, L-O-T-T-I-E sweater, and it is designed by Rowan. And the pattern calls for size 11 and 13 needles, so 11 for the ribbing and 13 for the body of the sweater. This is an open face cardigan, so there's no closures on it. However, I don't see why you couldn't add like some buttons, especially toggles. I think a toggle button would look really, really nice on this sweater, or I think they're called those little frog closures that are like 2 silver loops on either side. But this has got a great shawl collar, kind of like a mini shawl collar. And it is a super long sweater. On me, this would probably come past my knees, but this is such an easy pattern that you could customize it to any length you wanted it to. You can make this just waist length, or you could even make this duster length. But this is a pretty substantial cardigan. It's pretty heavy, so this would be a great fall coat. So it would be great for what's going on outside right now. It's cloudy and dark, but not doing anything. I know Teresa's over here saying, I wish it would at least rain. So it would make the clouds worth it, right?
That's right.
So this guy this took 10 balls of the Big Wool, and I'd like to say it's probably about a size large. So that is the Lottie sweater, L-O-T-T-I-E by Rowan, and it took 10 balls of this lovely big wool. And of course, you don't necessarily need to use the big wool for a sweater. This would make great accessories, hats, scarves. I would highly recommend going to the Rowan website and looking for patterns there, because they're constantly adding new patterns. So the Rowan website is a fantastic resource for patterns. So again, that is the big wool. This is definitely a super bulky yarn. And it's $19.99 for 100 grams and 87 yards. And I just pulled the cream color tonight, but we've got this in at least 10 colors on the wall. Alrighty, next is one of my favorite yarns. This is the Vintage Chunky by Bosco. This is an acrylic wool nylon blend. It is mostly acrylic, so this is great for any projects or presents that are going to get a lot of love, especially blankets and sweaters. Especially for people who might not necessarily know how to care for handmade garments. So this is machine washable. Never ever put any hand knit or hand crocheted items in the dryer. Just for safety's sake, just don't do it. And this is $14.99 per hank, and it is classified as a bulky yarn. And of course I pulled lilacs because it's purple. But we also have some amazing neutrals here. This is color 6101, which I believe is called Mochi. It's this lovely cream color. And I will show you a project made out of this in just a second. And then color 6106, I want to say that this one's called Smoke. So this is a very, very lovely gray. So I have 3 projects I want to show you guys that are made from the vintage chunky. So the first one is this sweater here. And this is called Bosco. This is from Ravelry. We used 6 skeins on this, and I want to say it's a size large, but it is a very boxy sweater. It's got kind of this grid-like ribbing to it, so it's very, very stretchy. And this is a super, super fun knit. I really enjoyed this. I love the kind of turtleneck collar on there, but it turns down so it's not right up against your neck. So that took, again, 6 skeins of the vintage chunky. And I want to say this is a size large again, so actually, if memory serves, I took home 7 skeins of this stuff and ended up only using 6. But Bosco's a really neat sweater. Again, it's one of those that is flattering to all body types because it doesn't have any shaping to it. It's very boxy. So, great, great sweater. All right. So, I have an amazing resource for you guys for bulky weight sweaters, and that is this Top-Down Knit Sweaters book. I love this book. I've had this book longer than the shop has, and it has amazing sweaters in it. I've made at least 2 in here, and I've got yarn to make a 3rd. But this book has yarn, it uses all yarn weights. It's not just focused on one particular yarn weight. So this has a bulky weight section in it, which is fantastic. I actually have yarn at home to make the sweater on the front one of these days once I cross a few more things off my list. That guy's a DK weight sweater. But this has, it's organized by type of sweater. So there's texture, colorwork, lace, and cables. And one of the bulky sweaters in here I wanted to show you guys. I haven't made it yet, but I wanted to make sure you all saw it because it is super, super pretty. And it's toward the end of the book, of course. So this is called Eudora. And I think this is so cool. I love the kind of braided cable look it has to it, and then the rest of the body's pretty simple with just a garter ridge in that. And that is made with a bulky weight yarn. And this book is $24.95. It is by, it's either Corinna or Karina, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, Ferguson. And I follow her on Ravelry, and she has an amazing pattern selection. So look her up on Ravelry. She's got some great stuff. So I made 2 of the sweaters from the book. And you know what? I should have marked them ahead of time because I don't remember the names. So, okay, well, here's the first one. Hi, Lynn. So the first sweater I made from here, actually it's the second sweater, but it's the first in the book. This is called Maud, and it utilizes the bulky weight yarns. Let me scooch this guy over here. So this is Maud. Maud, I used the vintage chunky for the body, and the color work, I actually used some scraps from my Sharon's glamping blanket. I had a little bit of bulky weight yarn left over, and you know, I never ever ever throw away any yarn. So I used my leftover pieces of yarn for the color work, and there's a tiny bit of color work down here at the bottom. So this sweater is really cool because it's got the garter ridge on the top, around the edge, and the bottom. And then the body is all knit, and you've got the really fun color work. If you've never done color work before, I would recommend taking a look at Maud because it's very, very simple color work. It's just introducing one color to the body color at a time. So this is Maud, and This is a nice cardigan, so there's the back, and you can see the collar there, and a tiny bit of color work there at the bottom. So I'm going to be truthful with you guys. This thing has actually been finished for a very long time. I hate sewing stuff on, so I just sewed the buttons on that guy this morning. But I did it for you all. So that is a great bulky weight project that uses the vintage chunky, and this, the stripes used very, very little yardage. She doesn't give the exact yardage amount of the stripes, but I'm gonna say I used maybe a quarter of a skein of the vintage chunky, probably not even that much. So that is Maud. So that is from the colorwork section of this book. The next sweater that I did is from the lacy part of this book. And this is called Constance, and Constance is a really cool sweater. Actually, Constance is very, very warm, but it has a lace back and a simple knit and garter ridge front. But actually, you can wear this sweater either way. You can wear it with the lace in the front or the plain in the front. So they did have the model in here wearing it 2 different ways, but let me show you what I have. So, I already forgot the name of the sweater. How bad is that? I should just keep the book open. Okay, Constance. So this is my Constance that I used the mochi colorway on, and this is a really, really fun knit. It does require a little bit of concentration because this is lace work. And then the other side is just simple stockinette with some garter ridge in it, and it is a raglan sleeve style. And I love raglan. I find raglan very flattering. It lies very nicely. And this guy, I want to say it only took me a couple days to make because it was out of that bulky weight yarn. And this is a great hiking sweater because that vintage chunky is very, very warm. Even with the lace pattern, it's still nice and toasty. So this is one of my favorite sweaters to wear when I know I'm going to be headed outside. So that is Constance, and that is from the Top Down Knit Sweater book. And again, this has more than just bulky in it. This has every kind of weight in it. It is a super, super fun book. Honestly, I can't talk it up enough. This is one of my favorite books to work from. Her writing style is very nice and clear. So again, even if you don't buy the book, look at her patterns on Ravelry. She is an amazing designer. So again, that's Corinna Ferguson. I'm going to take a sip of my tea real quick. Let's see here. Oh, yep, I'm live, Lynn. And thanks, Lynn. Yeah, these sweaters are so much fun. And again, working with bulky weight yarn is a great introduction to both lace and color work because you can see it a little better. So if you haven't tried color work, try Maud. If you haven't tried lace, try Constance. Bulky weight yarn is a great way to try out new techniques. So next, I have Beatrix. And I kind of wish Cheryl was here because Cheryl is actually making the Emma sweater by Cocoa Knits out of the Beatrix. And she says that this is a wonderful yarn to work with because it's light, it's lofty. This is basically, see if I can get that in there where you guys can see it. It's basically a tube. And it's a blend of extra fine merino, angora, and nylon. This is just a regular bulky, so it's not quite up to the super bulky. It is probably a tiny bit thicker than the vintage chunky. But there's 109 yards here. It's $22.99, and this stuff is super, super light. I imagine the sweater, when Cheryl's done with it, is probably not going to weigh anything. So I was telling Cheryl the other day, I was looking for an excuse to buy this purple and make something with it, but I'm trying to be good and have a plan in mind before I buy the yarn. So this color is called Aubergine, very eggplanty purple. And again, kind of like the vintage chunky and the big wool, I only pulled a couple colors. This, I want to say we have 11 or 12 colors of. This is ivory, and it's just ivory. It's a wonderful ivory, and you can see that the Angora gives it just a slight halo there, so you can see that guy. And then this color I think is quite lovely. This is Sage, and Sage is a little bit more tonal than the other colors. I wouldn't call it a solid green. It's got just a little differentiation in color in there. And this yarn is squishy soft and wonderful. And again, it's $22.99, and we have the Allison cowl made up out of it. This is a color work piece by my friend Melissa Leitman. And we do have kits for the Allison cowl that comes with the yarn and the pattern. Those are $44.99. But in this you can kind of see what that yarn, the Beatrix, looks like when it's all worked up. And honestly, you guys, this weighs nothing. This is really, really light, but really, really warm and cozy. And we also have a hat kit made out of the Beatrix. This is the Jenny hat. Isn't that cute? I want to make that for myself. I've been in a hat making mood lately. What have you guys been wanting to make? For some reason, for me, it's been hats. So if you need hats, let me know, because I'm making a ton of them. So this is the Jenny hat. It's $59.99. It comes with the pattern, 2 skeins of the Beatrix, and the faux fur pom-pom for on top. And that's really cute. I mean, even the kit weighs nothing, even with the pom-pom in there. So again, that is the Beatrix. This also makes really lovely hats, besides the Jenny, just any kind of hat, because it is so light and lofty and soft. It's great because it's not heavy, so you're getting the warmth without the bulk. So I love Beatrix, and it is a great product. So, okay, you guys, what all are you making? Are you working on sweaters or hats? Mom, I know you're working on Christmas presents. I'd put money on that. So just shout it out, and if you have any patterns that you're working on that you want to share with us, be sure to put it in the chat column. I'd love to see what you guys are working on. Right now I'm working on, I finished a crocheted sweater, and I had a lot of yarn left over, so I'm making fingerless mitts to match. So that's what I'm working on. And knitting wise, what am I working? Oh, I just finished a shawl, and I've always got sweaters and stuff going, so I'm always busy. So my next product is the Remix Chunky. This is $15 per skein. Original designs. I would expect nothing less from you, Mother. The Remix Chunky, it's $15 per skein, and there are 139 yards in here. This, I would put it maybe just a tiny bit skinnier than the Vintage Chunky. Let's see here. I'm knitting Look Squirrel Sweater. Oh, cool. Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of patterns saved in my Ravelry account that I really want to make, but I need to get some stuff done first. If you saw our living room, it's a mess. I have yarn and projects literally everywhere. So the Remix Chunky is the same fiber blend as the Remix Light, which we've carried for a while. It's 30% nylon, 27% cotton, 24% acrylic, 10% silk, 9% linen. This yarn is fantastic because it has no animal fibers in it. So if you have someone that you're making for that has animal fiber sensitivities, this is a great yarn, and you're still getting the warmth because it is a bulkier weight yarn. And the manufacturing process behind this yarn is really, really cool too. What they do is they take fabric and turn it into scraps, and then combine the scraps until they get the color yarn that they want. So they're recycling fibers, they're not harvesting anything new. So this is a great, great product. And I haven't worked with the Chunky yet, but I have worked with the Remix Light, and I love it. So I can't say enough good about this. And Barocco products are just fabulous to begin with. So I pulled over to Night Color 9960, which I believe is called Strawberry, and color 9930, I want to say it's called Smoke. And what's really cool about those recycled fibers is you can see there's a tiny bit of tweediness in there. Again, it's not like that bright in-your-face tweed, it's very subtle. And then this is color 9984, which I want to say is called Tide. love that color. For some reason, I'm really into the turquoises. I'm always a purple person, but I think turquoise is kind of the runner-up to favorite color there. So I brought a couple projects over here that are made from the Remix Chunky. So we've got this nice hat. It's kind of a broken rib garter ridge in there. It's called the Claral hat, C-L-A-R-A-L. And let's see here. Depending on the size of hat you need, this takes 1 to 2 skeins of the Remix Chunky. And it does have a matching cowl, which I'm not going to try and pull off that guy. So it's the same kind of broken rib garter ridge stitch. This does take 2 balls if you want to make the cowl. So if you want to make a matching hat and cowl, you'll need 3 to 4 balls of the Remix Chunky. And the color palette on the Remix Chunky, it came out last fall, so it's a very fall color palette. A lot of warm tones and a lot of neutrals. They do have, of course, the Tide and a denim blue, which is the only real cold colors. They do have a very deep dark purple that we don't carry, but even that is more of a warm purple. It's kind of a reddish purple. And if that's something you're interested in looking at, of course we can order it for you. So get this hat back on this head over here. So again, Remix Chunky, $15 per skein, and we've got 139 yards of all recycled fibers. And this can go in the washing machine on a gentle cycle and of course lay flat to dry. The next bulky weight I have to show you is a local product. Yay! Hooray for Longmont. This is called Large Hadron. Ugh, tripping over my tongue here. And this is by Jennifer Miller of Theodore's Pearls from right here in Longmont. So I don't know if this is Jennifer's first foray into bulky weight yarn, but it is certainly beautiful. If you like the oxynometer, you're going to love this because the colors are very, very similar. The Large Hadron is 100% superwash merino wool, and it is a 2-ply, 109 yards, and they are $32.99 per hank. So it uses the same dyeing technique that she uses in the oxynometer, so you're getting a main color with splashes of color throughout it. And this is classified as a bulky, but I would almost kind of put it between bulky and super bulky. So it's in between. We ought to come up with a name for that. Super bulky-ish. So this color is called Twilight Blue. We have 4 colors currently in inventory. And then this is called Bronze Coins. Again, another terrific fall color. This kind of reminds me of aspen leaves when they're turning color. This one is called Lime. Lime is definitely more of a solid. It's still kind of tonal, but it doesn't have the flashes of color in it quite as much as the other ones do. And the last one we have is Aztec Ruins, and again, another super wonderful fall color, deep dark burgundy with some orange in there. That is terrific. And Gail did make a hat out of this. This used 1 ball, or I guess I should say 1 skein of the Large Hadron, and it's called the Easy Breezy Hat. And it says pattern location LYS, but I'm assuming that we probably have it on Ravelry too. So just a very simple, basic stocking cap. So ribbing at the bottom, stockinette throughout, and then a really cool faux fur pom-pom on top. And this is the Twilight Blue color. So because it is hand-dyed, you can't see there's some variations in there from skein to skein, but isn't that a lovely color? We did have a purple, but of course the purple sold out. And no, it wasn't me that bought it all.
I don't believe it.
No, I didn't buy the purple. Someone beat me to it. I bet it was Teresa. Teresa always beats me to the purple. So, I'm just kidding. I know it wasn't Teresa. So that's the Large Hadron by Theodore's Pearls, and it's $32.99 for 109 yards. You know what? I love fall colors too, Lynn. Honestly, with my skin tone, I can't wear them, but I love fall. I love the oranges, the reds, the magentas. I'm a fall baby. I was born in November, so I guess I just love fall. So my next item is a brand new yarn. This is actually not only brand new to us, but brand new period. This is Rowan Tweed Haze. This is a 50-gram ball. It's $19.99 per ball, and there's 131 yards in here. This guy is hand wash only, and it is, wow, really tiny print on the yarn paint. Mohair, alpaca, I'm trying to find the English, there's all, okay, Italian, French, mohair, alpaca, polyamide, polyester, and wool. So that is a terrific blend. And this one does have the brighter tweed to it. So when you work with it, that tweed is going to be very evident. So this colorway is, I think it's color 552, and then this is color 553. So this is kind of a periwinkle lavender color, and then this is a black, but it looks more like a really deep dark purple. And we used these guys to make a store sample. Actually, Mary did. Thank you, Mary. This is the aloe vest, and the model's a little short, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that off of there. Isn't that adorable? That's these two colors work together, and of course, this I believe is a size. It's a size 40-inch, so probably about a size large. And it's another one of those that would be really easy to customize. You could totally make it longer. You could pick up stitches and make sleeves instead of making it a vest. This would be really easy to just go ahead and turn into a V-neck too. So, but I love those color combinations, and just, I love the main color with just the little splash of the darker color. And this is very similar to the Beatrix in that this is light as a feather. It hardly weighs a thing. But it's going to be nice and warm. So this would make, I think this would actually make a really cute bolero. Just the little short open face cardigan with long sleeves. I think that would be absolutely yummy. So this is the aloe vest, spelled exactly like the plant. And the pattern is on the Rowan website, and I do believe they have it on Ravelry now too. But for the 40-inch bust line, this took 3 balls of the main color and just 1 of the contrast. I bet this didn't even use maybe half the ball, maybe if even that. So this is a brand new yarn to us, and you can see the tweed is a bit more noticeable in this than it would be in the remix chunky. So you can see the little splashes of pink against the periwinkle lavender color. So again, that is the Rowan Tweed Haze, $19.99 per ball, and you know what? The fiber content was right there in front of my face. The 131 yards per ball, and it's 40% mohair, 39% alpaca, 10% polyamide, 3% polyester, and 8% cotton. I got cotton and wool mixed up. Imagine that. But this is a fantastic yarn, and I can't wait to work with it. My last item for tonight is this Ultra Alpaca Chunky. This is not a new yarn, but it is new to us. This is another Barocco product. This is $14.99 per hank, and you have 131 yards here, and it's a 50-50 blend of alpaca and Peruvian wool, and this is a 2-ply yarn. It has this really cool texture to it, and all these colors except for the more neutrals have kind of a heathering effect to it. So this of course is the purple, but you can kind of see little shots of magenta in there, and this is the burgundy, but with the burgundy you can see the red base with little bits of blue shot through there. And Cheryl made a sample, just a little swatch to try this yarn out, and it turned out beautiful. The texture was really nice, the stitch definition was stunning, and I'm crazy about these colors. We also have some nice blues, a very nice deep forest green, and of course neutrals. We've got grays, white, tan. So that is the Ultra Alpaca Chunky. And if you guys are interested, this is actually the yarn that Sarah Solomon will be using on Fiber Friday, which is coming out November 11th. Oh my gosh, that's this Friday. This Fiber Friday is called Knit Your First Sweater with Sarah Solomon, and it's this Friday and the following Friday from 4 to 6:30 Mountain Standard Time, or is it Mountain Daylight Time? Mountain Time over Zoom, and there's still spots available if you would like to register for it. So if you haven't knit a sweater before, this is a great class to take. If you have and need a refresher, again, wonderful class to take. And Sarah did recommend the Ultra Alpaca Chunky for that sweater class. The Beatrix is also a recommended yarn for that class. So again, the Ultra Alpaca Chunky is $14.99 for 131 yards. They classify it as a bulky yarn, but it's kind of along the same lines as the large Hadron, where it's probably just a tiny bit thicker than your standard bulky weight yarn. So that is my tribute to bulky weight yarn. What I like to do is I like to knit or crochet something on really, really fine yarn, and then when I'm sick of it, I pick up bulky yarn and make something really quick and then go back to my super fine yarns. So it's kind of a good rest from the teeny tiny yarns. Again, great for making presents, great for quick projects for yourself, not necessarily for a present, but great for hats, great for sweaters, great for vests, accessories, you name it, you can make it out of bulky weight yarn. So before I go, I just want to let everyone know that Gail is working on our winter semester classes, and we hope to have the class schedule up probably in the next couple weeks for the January through May session. And also, I can't believe it is already the holiday season. Oh my gosh. I can't believe how fast this year has gone by. I'm still wondering where June and July went, and we're in November now. So just as a reminder, we do have a gift registry. You can actually download the gift registry form from the homepage on our website, fill it out and turn it in, and we'll give you little hint cards that you can give to people who might be buying you a gift, and then this way they come in, we pull a registry for them, and then you get entered for a gift certificate. And the drawing will be on December 24th. And of course, Bandit's going to be doing the pit name picking. I mean, who else would do it? So be sure to fill out your gift registries. It's a great way to make sure that people know exactly what to get you. And we, as the staff here, are more than happy to help anyone who may not have been in a yarn store before look for something. Also, we do have the gift certificates, and these are great if you don't have a gift registry and if you don't know what to give someone. The gift certificates and the gift registry we actually offer year-round, so it's not necessarily just for a wintertime holiday present. It can be for Valentine's Day, birthdays, Knitter Appreciation Day, if there is such a thing. So these will come in any denomination that you want. If you want to put some odd amount on there, we'll do it for you. And they do not expire. So that is all I have for you guys tonight. And next week we'll be back to talk about kits, because we have a lot of new kits and I'm really, really excited about those. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you next week. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Bye.